Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We're back today with issue 2 of the Fanhome release of Build the 1966 Batmobile. So, what's in the magazine for issue 2? Again, a guide to the next issue. It was Frank Gorshin who played the original Riddler. Again, tragedy in the Batcave, and there's a little puzzle there. Fantastic. Batman Hush, which is one of the comics. Revelation and Redemption, Superman. And of course, Batman and Catwoman. Indeed. And Batman in 1940. Again, Batman and Robin. And then, of course, the Joker. And that brings us on to our instructions. So, without further ado, let's have a look and see what's in the pack for issue 2. Okay, so here we have the parts for issue 2. We have a big, thick, chonky and very, very rigid tyre. We have a metal wheel piece. We have another metal wheel piece. We have a plastic wheel trim, more or less, a nice chrome piece. We have, of course, the bat-shaped spinner for the wheel. That looks cool. And we have the centre cap for the wheel. We also have parts for the antenna. Nice photo-etched piece, this. Looking like that, that's the top of the antenna. We have a little cap. We have the other piece of the antenna, which is metal, and it does actually work like a car antenna. That's pretty cool. Quite like that. We have a bag of EP screws, and we have a bag of CP screws. Nice. So the first thing that we're doing is taking the wheel. So it's this part of the wheel, the metal piece. Now, the wheel looks the same either way, so it doesn't matter what way around you put it. Right, okay. So I'm assuming it tells you to put that in the wheel first, but it doesn't hold in. So if you put that in the wheel, it doesn't stay in, it just falls straight through, which is a bit strange. Seems to sit okay if you do it like that though. 2 seconds till I get that piece out. Okay, so it sits okay like that, with that piece, and then this piece sits on top of it, just like that. And then the chrome piece, again lining up those 5 screw holes, goes on like that. Turning that all over, you can see it all lines up on the back, and we're holding that all together with the CP screws. So we'll need 5 CP screws. So set it down like that. Hopefully it will not fall apart too much while I get my screws ready. So we need 5 of these just now, or 5. Again, we have 1 spare, as is the norm for part works. They give you a nice, they're very kind when they give you a spare, in case you lose one, as I mentioned previously, to the horror that is the carpet monster, or the floor monster. So as you see, 5 screw holes. And these are plastic screws. Well, they're metal screws, but they're going into plastic. So what you don't want to be doing is over tightening them, because if you do that, I mentioned before, in every build I do, you will end up stripping the threads out of the plastic, because the plastic screws tend to be self-tapping. So all that will happen is you'll pull the threads out. Dearie me, I'm having a bit of trouble with this screwdriver today. May need the end replaced again. Okay. Again, this is in true part work style, that you get a wheel as issue 2 that you're not going to use probably until Ecto 1. It was the the 20s or something, stage 20, that you actually started fitting wheels. Can't remember exactly, but it tends to be a little bit on before you actually fit the wheels to anything, but could be wrong. We shall see. Perfect. And then the third one, the final one, the fifth one, going in just like that. I said the third one because I was thinking, I wonder what's actually coming in stage 3, because they're not kind enough to give us a preview, but that looks amazing. Look at that wheel. The next thing we're doing is getting the center cap and the bat symbol, just pushing the bat symbol into the middle like that. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And then we need the 2 EP screws to assemble the antenna. Again, spare screw. You may want to get yourself, if you're going to keep your spares, get yourself like a pill box or medication box or something like that, just so you can keep them labelled. I personally, you don't need to keep them because you get plenty, but I'm a hoarder, so I do tend to keep them. So what we're doing is extending the aerial all the way out. And then sliding it down in here. Ooh. So you're trying to look through that hole to see when the hole is lined up. Now let me have a look. There we go. Perfect. And you want to make sure that hole is completely unobstructed, because you're going to be putting a screw through it. So just make sure it's all nicely lined up. That hole does not look remotely big enough for that screw, but let's see. Okay, so it started. Perfect. Yep, just make sure the hole in the antenna lines up. Otherwise you'll end up with that happening, because my hole hadn't properly lined up. The antenna itself had actually moved, which isn't good. So give me a moment. Just back that screw off enough that the antenna can squeeze back down past it. There we go, that's it lined up. So if I hold it like that, I should now be able to thread, there we go, thread the screw all the way through. So if you make sure that is lined up exactly with the bottom like that, you'll be able to get the screw in the hole, no dramas. And the same on the other side. There we go. Let's say the hole does look very, very small for the screw you're threading into it, but it does fit. As I say, the plastic screws, I keep calling them plastic screws. The metal screws going into plastic cut their own thread. So there we go. There's the antenna. Looks a little bit like a lightsaber, doesn't it? Then the next piece we need is the photo etch part, which just goes on the end. And then the very, very last piece is this piece, which is in here, which is the top. Now the photo etch part is called the antenna reflector, that's what they're calling it. So this piece screws onto the end. It's not a push fit. It does actually screw on, just like that. There we go, there's the antenna reflector on the end, and that looks just like that. And with that being done, we have the antenna, we have the hubcap and we have the wheel. Now obviously I'm not going to push it in, but the hubcap will eventually sit in the wheel just like that. And that is us for issue 2. So that's us for issue 2. What's coming in issue 3? No idea. Fanhome don't give you a preview in the magazine, and there's nothing on the website as yet. But here's what we made in issue 2. So we made the hubcap, we made the wheel, and we made the antenna, which, as I say, goes up and down like a real car antenna. The antenna on my old Chrysler used to do that. Yeah. So fantastic again. I do love the Batmobile. Not much to do, but the first couple of issues don't tend to be. They tend to be just to grab your attention. Hopefully there'll be more in issue 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. I don't know if we're getting 6 next time or if we're just getting 3. I'm not sure. We'll need to wait and see. But as always, thank you for watching. Any feedback, comments, criticisms, complaints, drop them down below. Do leave me a like and do subscribe to see the rest of the Batmobile, the rest of the U-96 U-boat and the rest of the Titanic. But yep, thanks again for watching, and as always guys, peace out everyone.